and welcome to the Jewish News Channel from Imbalanced. Today we're going to talk about shidduchim, and specifically we're going to discuss how to get your daughter more dates. And the trick is you've got to be proactive. And what I mean by that is you've got to run your daughter's shidduchim almost like a business. I know that's a dirty word, business. You can't look at it as a business. You're going to suck all the romance out of dating, out of marriage, out of relationships. Your daughter and the boy, they can have all the fun they want. They can enjoy the romance, but you have to treat it as a business. And I'm not saying you got to be a used car salesman. I'm not saying you have to go and shove things down people's throats, be pushy with shadchan. I'm not saying that at all. You can be a very reputable, upstanding business person. I'll give you an example. There's a real estate lady in a local area near where I live, and her name is plastered everywhere. I don't mean in a showy way. What I mean is her signs are all over the place, and it always says sold underneath. She's an incredibly successful real estate agent. She takes on some of the biggest real estate agencies in the area, and she's got like half or even more of the houses being sold, and she's doing it all. And I asked a friend of mine who's close with her, I said, what's her secret? Is she very pushy? Does she shove things down people's throat? Is she a great salesperson? And he said, no, actually, she's not. She's just extremely meticulous. She does all the follow-up. She takes all the time in the world to speak to whoever might possibly, potentially be interested in any specific house. And she's just incredibly meticulous. She's proactive. She keeps these very extensive lists, and she'll call people, email people, anytime something becomes available, and she will do her homework. And that's what you have to do. You have to be in touch with shadchanim, not in an invasive way. You have to figure out a way to stay on top of their minds. I have news for you. Shadchanim aren't just sitting there daydreaming about who's the best boy for your daughter. There are certain people at the tops of their minds. Now you're going to say, well, I can't just go and invade their lives. I can't just call them every day. I'm not saying you should do that. Don't be one of these people who calls the shadchan every day and says, so, anybody for my daughter? You have anybody yet? Those people are going to blacklist you very quickly. I have a great idea. Why don't you ask the shadchan? Say, hey, I don't want to bother you, but what's the best way to get in touch? Maybe email, maybe text. Maybe I can leave you a voicemail. There's so many ways these days. Communication is just pretty amazing. But ask the shadchanim specifically, how can I do this in a way to stay at the top of your mind? If you just ask it nicely, they'll listen. Let's say you ran a business and your client dried up. You wouldn't just sit there hoping. You wouldn't just make a phone call once a month. You would find salespeople. You would figure out a way to follow up on leads. Well, it's the same thing with looking for boys and dates for your daughter. Don't just sit there by the phone and wait. I know you're busy, but it's your daughter. And another important point, I have news for you. There are lots of shadchanim in the world. There aren't just one or two shadchanim out there. There's plenty. You can shop around. You don't need to pigeonhole yourself into one or two shadchanim and only use them. You could do some research, find 10 or 20 shadchanim, and figure out which one works for you. Figure out which one is interested in your daughter. Figure out which one gets results for other people. And most importantly, figure out which ones are accessible. You can work with 5 or 6 shadchanim at the same time. And again, as I said before, ask them what the best way is to contact them and to stay at the top of their minds and work with them. You can decide who you like. Some people are more receptive than others. Some people are more your speed or more your style. Again, the bottom line is you've got to go down every possible avenue. You've got to really spend the time and put in the effort and put in the energy. And you've got to market your daughter just like a business because she's your daughter and you care about her. And you know that unfortunately, sadly, tragically, there are daughters out there who aren't getting dates. And who are, even if they're getting dates, aren't getting the right dates and the right kinds of boys. You've got to make sure, it's your responsibility, make sure that doesn't happen. Some people are more laid back, they're a little bit shy, and they kind of sit there and they hope. And they get calls and they speak to people and they do some homework and they do some legwork. But to me, it's almost, there's never enough. There's never enough legwork you can do. Because as I said, she's your daughter, she's your baby. This is your business, only like 10 million times more important. And if you do it the right way and you're polite and you're courteous, but you're more assertive and more proactive and you don't rest and you don't sit back until you get results, you can actually get somewhere. We have so many things. We're really excited here at the Jewish News Channel as we launch. And we have a bunch of guests lined up. Just in the next coming weeks, we're going to have Larry Gordon, who's the editor-in-chief of the Five Towns Jewish Times. We're going to have Rabbi Yitzi Ross, who's a veteran mechanech, who's a Rebbe for many, many years. And he has a column and he has a website, yitparenting.com. And there's just so much exciting stuff. They're going to talk about things that are on the top of your mind, things that are going to be helpful to you, helpful with parenting, helpful with shidduchim, helpful with earning some money and being able to pay your bills and support your family, and many, many other really, really hot topics. So stay with us here on the Jewish News Channel. We'll see you soon.